Hey guys, what's up? It's Brittany here with Midwest Performance, and I'm here with Jen, Michelle, and Mo, and today we're going to do a special Q&A episode of the Coffee with MP show.
We're Midwest Performance. We're on a mission to empower women around the world to take action and work hard to make a physical impact in their lives. In this very saturated fitness industry, there's tons of competition, but the opportunities are incredible. We'll cover the most common challenges in the fitness world and invite guests to the show that have learned to overcome them and share their strategies with you. This is the Coffee with MP show.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Brittany here with Midwest Performance, and today we are doing a very special episode of the Coffee with MP show. I have recruited some of our best members here at Midwest Performance. They were so gracious to stick behind after literally 6 days of working out this week and an ab clinic to do a special Q&A episode with me. I literally am going to let them ask me just about any questions that they want to ask me, whether it's about myself, Maricea, about Midwest Performance, maybe something that they've got going on in their own personal journeys that they want some extra help with. So I'm just going to let these guys go around the table. We have Jen, Michelle, and Mo. Michelle and Mo, you've actually seen on our Coffee with MP show before. Jen was just our July member of the month, so we've got some really special ladies here with us today. So welcome, ladies. I'm excited to have you guys. So honestly, I'm just going to let you guys ask questions. I'm going to start with Mo. I'm going to go with your questions first, and then we'll just kind of go around the table. And if you guys want to, if you've got questions off of questions and things like that, please feel free to answer. I will be as open and honest as I possibly can be. You know me, I'm a pretty honest and open person, so that's not a secret. So Mo, what do you got for me? Hit it.
Why did you think this concept of how you do your workouts was going to be successful?
So the trend in fitness right now is really functional training and circuit style training. It's been a proven fact that HIIT style workouts like this really prove to give the best results. And I know this also from my own personal journey because I've done like a lot of cardio before and I've done a lot of weight training before, and it's never until you actually mix the two that they make a perfect marriage. It's like cardio and weight training is like the perfect combination because you're building strength, you're burning fat, you're building lean muscle, which helps burn fat, but you're also getting your heart rate up enough to burn those extra calories with the cardio too. So HIIT style training, functional style training is not only really popular in the fitness industry right now, but it is a concept that really does work. It really proves to work well, especially with women. Women tend to enjoy this change up of weights and cardio because a lot of women tend to get bored. So I think that's why we really decided to go with that concept. It's a concept both of Maricea and I have both used in the past, and it's just, it really is what works. That's a great question. Michelle, what for you?
What made you decide to open Midwest Performance?
So Maricea and I both have backgrounds in owning a fitness business. So Maricea got her start way long before I did. She was a manager at a gym for a while, and she started MMA in 2009. Then she started personal training at the gym that she was managing, and it kind of just snowballed for her from there because she became a very, very popular trainer. She started her boot camps in South Dakota and really grew her business. She ended up owning 2 separate facilities. One was a CrossFit facility, one was more like a boot camp facility, and then she transitioned the boot camp into CrossFit, and she really just grew her business in South Dakota there. I stumbled upon her, and she was actually my trainer before we actually became business partners and life partners essentially. And she was running her boot camp concept. I was living 40 miles away from her, and I was like, there's no reason why I can't do this. And this was kind of when I was getting my start into fitness and group training and like really kind of finding my passion for helping people. And I was like, man, I could totally do this. I live in a town of like 3,500 people and there's only a rec center here. Like, I can totally do this. So then I started my boot camp out of my garage. Similar to Maricea, she started hers out of her garage too. Must be the place to start businesses as garages, I don't know. And it kind of just went from there. So after we moved from South Dakota here, Maricea actually sold her gym to me, one of her gyms. She actually closed down one of her facilities and then kind of combined them into one. And then when she left to come to Illinois in 2015 to train full time, she actually sold her business to me. So I was running my business in the town called Millbank and the one that she had. And that's kind of when our relationship grew. And then I ended up selling both of the businesses and then moving here as well too. So when we came here, it was like, we didn't own any businesses. I worked at Orange Theory for a while. She was training MMA full time. And both of us had like thrown around the idea of like, do we really want to start another gym? Because it's a lot of work. Like starting a business is a lot of work. It's not easy to start a business, and it's not for the faint of heart by any means. Plus, we were trying to build a relationship on top of that. So it was like, man, we really want to do this. Is a lot of work. But we knew that both of us had this passion and this love for helping people and changing lives and like just coaching and being in that environment in general. So we're like, let's give it a shot. So we started with the 12-week challenge in June of 2016, and here we are in July of 2018, 2 years later, just over 2 years later, and we have a huge facility and amazing women that we're surrounded by. So it wasn't, this had the potential of never even being here, because if we would have been like, no, we don't want to do that anymore, you know, we might not even be sitting here. So it's kind of crazy to just be able to take the leap and do it, but that's a roundabout way of how we got here. That was a good question. I knew that was going to come up. So if you're watching this now, you know the rest of the story. Jen, how about for you? What do you got for me?
So you have lots of different and awesome coaches, because every coach does a little bit different style. How do you pick your coaches, or what are you looking for in your trainers?
Good question. That's a really good question. Yes, like you all know, we love our Green Squad. Like from Ashley to Gabby to all of the girls, all the trainers, to Tiffany, Idia, Sabrina, Lauren, and Jamie. They're all amazing humans, and they all bring something very, very different and dynamic to the table. And I think it's important to have that dynamic, because different people come to gyms for different things, and different people need different things in classes. Some people need the cheerleader in class, which is like Tiffany and Lauren. Some people need the football coach, like Jamie. You know, Jamie is, or Maricea. They're both like football coaches. They're rough and they're tough, and they get down to business. And then you've got Idia, who's just, you know, she's just this amazing, like this. She's always so elated. She's quiet like a mouse, but she's tough when she needs to be. She's kind of a mix of the two. She's tough when she needs to be, but she's a cheerleader when she needs to be too. And then you got Sabrina, who's just like, again, another mix of the two, because she can be a great cheerleader, but she can be tough on you too. So I think the thing that, well, number one, all of our staff were members before they were actually staff. So every single staff member has been through their own journey here at the studio before they actually were hired on as staff. So I think that that's a really important point to make, because it gives them kind of a leg up on other trainers, because they know what you guys are going through. They've had their own struggles, and they've had their own triumphs, and they've had their own journey, and there's a lot of them are still going through their journey. All of them are doing the nutrition program with me next month, because I said all of you guys are doing this with me because, number one, you all have goals that I want to help you meet. Number two, you need to be able to go through this so that you can explain it to the other girls. So we do it based on, number one, they have to be certified. I mean, that's number one, but it's really about personality. And Idia and Tiffany were, you know, they've been here since day one, and they have just grown and flourished, and their personalities have really started to blossom in their classes. And it's just cool, because I would rather hire somebody that I can help mold into an amazing trainer, versus somebody who's been training for 15 years and they're just kind of, it's like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, you know? So like I like helping you guys and changing your lives. I love helping my trainers and changing their lives as well, and changing how they teach classes and really making them the best trainers that they can be. So it's not about looks. You know, some people are like, well, don't you have to have fit trainers? No, because that's not what this is about, because they're training unfit people. So it's like when you see not an unfit coach, but a coach that doesn't look like the typical trainer, it almost gives you a sense of a relief, like, man, like, look where she's at. Like, I could totally do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it just adds to the empowerment level here. And I think that that's what's really important about the trainers. And I love them all. I love all of you so much. So, good question. What do you got? Go back to you.
I do have a really good one. So the fitness world, you basically sliced into 50%. Why did you only focus on women?
That's a really good question. So we get that a lot. Did you know that the SBA will not give us a loan because we discriminate? So if the SBA is watching this, that's BS. So yeah, because we discriminate, because we're exclusively for women. Obviously, if a man came to the door and was like, hey, I want to work out, we can't be like, no, you can't be here. You just hope that it kind of deters them from coming. But we would never discriminate against anybody who came in here. If they wanted to come work out, then hey, okay, we'll make it work. But number one, when we first started the 12-week program, it was all women except for one guy, and the guy did it because it was with his fiance.
Oh.
So, Chris, wherever you're at, I know you're in California now, so we love you so much, we miss you. But it was like, okay, well, obviously there is a need for this, and all of our business coaches and every entrepreneur out there that you hear talks always says the riches are in the niches, and so it was like you have to niche down, you have to find kind of the blue ocean. What I mean by that is when you have the red ocean and the blue ocean, and the red ocean is where all the sharks are, that's where all the people are, that's where there's no clients because there's so many people in the red ocean. You want to go to the blue ocean where there's lots of food and there's lots of people to serve, so you want to try to get to the blue ocean. Essentially, having an all-women's gym is in the blue ocean because there's not, I mean, there is other fitness places out there that are, you know, part of, that are women only. You know, there's a Farm Girl Fit that I've heard of. There is, which is kind of like a CrossFit style gym. Burn Boot Camp, I know. There's a couple other ones too, but with having an all-women's fitness studio is just a place where you know that you're going to get a lot of people, because the majority, the average woman out there is not fit. They're just not. And you've got to find a place, or give them a place to come where they can feel like they can thrive and they can flourish, but they can not be judged and not feel like everybody's staring at them or making fun of them behind their back, or, you know, you don't have to feel self-conscious or anything like that when you come here. And I think that because I have felt like that before, because I have been at a place in my life where I've not always been comfortable with myself, I know it's important to be able to feel okay where you're at and to just know that you can be the best version of yourself. So having a women's only gym was something that not only did it kind of just present itself in the way that when we had the 12-week program, it was just a lot of women, but we were like, man, like, this is a place that there's no other women's gym in Schaumburg or in the area, you know? So it's like we wanted to be that business. So I think that that's really kind of how that all came about. Nice. So yeah, good question. What do you got for me, Michelle?
All right, so I'm going to ask you the question you kind of ask us all the time. Where do you see Midwest Performance in a week, a month, a year from now?
So I think for us right now, like, we're really just trying to make this studio the absolute best studio that it can possibly be. We really want to make this a studio where it's like on steroids, where everything's running well, everybody's happy. We're offering a lot of, you know, different things to help you guys grow and flourish in your journeys. We do want to open another location, but I'm not really on a timeline for that, because I just feel like I want to really make sure that this is running as efficiently and as amazingly as possible. You know, if you have problems in one place and then you open another place, you're just creating more problems. You're just doubling your problems, and I'm not about to do that. And you know, with Maricea training full time and really taking advantage of the opportunity as a family, that's just something that we decided to do. And I think with me being here and kind of running everything, I just want to make sure that I'm ready. You know, that I'm ready to do this. That Maricea is a point where she is ready to support me doing that, like I support her. And so yeah, for right now, we're just really growing and really fine tuning things. And like, this is kind of like a test area where we like test different concepts and different things, like with the nutrition program and the clinics and the origin meals. Like, we're just testing different things in here to see how well they work, so that way when you open another studio, it's like we know what works, we know what needs to happen, we know exactly what we need to offer, and we can just open the doors and be ready to go. So I think that, yeah, we're just really running smoothly right now. And I think that that's kind of, we definitely have a really big growth plan. I think that this is something that we've seen, we want to be a global brand, we really do. But it doesn't take 2 years to do that. You know, global brands don't happen overnight. You know, it takes 5, 6, 7 years to really create that, and to really make it a movement. And so that's what we're working towards. That's a good question. Great question.
So nutrition. So that's where I struggle.
Yep.
Because I can come into the gym and like have fun and kill it and all that, but then I don't always make the best food choices. And there's all this stuff out there like the keto and all that. So what is kind of your thoughts behind with nutrition?
Good. I get the question a lot. Like, what do you think about keto? What do you think about paleo? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? It's like, To each their own. That's how I am. If it works for you, then it works for you. At the end of the day, nutritionally, you've got to find something that works for you. I will never sit here and tell you that you need to do this because that's wrong and that's wrong. Because it's not my place to say that. Because keto might work really well for you. I know people who are on keto that just works really well for them. And their body feels great doing keto and that's what they want to do. Okay, I'm not here to judge you what you want to do because flexible dieting works for me because of where I'm at. And I know that it works for a lot of people because a lot of the people that I work with are at a point where they've already tried depriving themselves. They've already tried, over-the-counter diet pills. They've already tried shakes. They've already tried the Nutrisystem. They've already tried all of those things and none of them have worked. So it's like, okay, so why can't we just teach you how to eat what you're already eating just in portions, right? So I think that concept tends to work better for the women that come in here than like your fad diets and things like that. But I will never knock anything else because I get it. Like some things work for some people and other things work for other people, so it's not my place. And I don't think honestly, I don't think any fitness professional should have a place to say like, that sucks, my program's better, whatever. Because yeah, maybe you think that, but what if it really does work for your clients? What if they really find great results on that? Because there are people out there who have done like strict paleo, who have done the keto diet, who have done, isogenics and all this stuff and have seen really good results on it, and that's amazing because it works for them. So let them be, when you come here, I'm going to give you an option. Like this is my option. This is what I've seen and proven to work really well for several other ladies. But that doesn't necessarily, it may be for you, but give it a try. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm kind of a non-biased I am Switzerland. On nutrition. Yeah. What do you got for me, Mo?
I know you kind of talked about this before, was it Maricea that came down to train? Why did you choose Schaumburg?
Oh, good question. So Maricea was actually training at an MMA gym here in Schaumburg, just down the street. And she had been training here her whole MMA career, like for the most part, for like 4 years or something like that. She would actually come here from South Dakota for her training camps and stay here with her parents or at the fighter house. And so she was always here. So when we first decided to start this, they let us rent like a small space in their back area. It was like their strength and conditioning area that had equipment and everything in it. So we're like, well, at the time I had quit my job, Maricea had quit her job. We like went all in. And we needed something cheap and something easy. So they had a space and it was like $250 a month and we were like, cool, let's do it. And that's how we got here. We were living in Elmhurst at first and then so we weren't that far away. And then we got the place in Bolingbrook and that kind of like fell into our lap. That's a whole nother story in itself. But the drive isn't so bad. But that's how we got here, was because of where Maricea was training, and this is where we started. But this is a really great area to have a business. I mean, this is an amazing community to have a business in, and there's lots of opportunity here, which I think is great. So, yeah, good question. What do you have?
I have a Maricea question.
Okay.
How did she get into her fighting?
So, this is, okay, so baby, I'm sorry if I messed this story up. I'm going to do my best not to mess it up. But in 2009, she had gotten laid off from a job in South Dakota. And she was kind of living off of her unemployment. She was doing okay for herself, but she wasn't really sure what she wanted to do. And she's always she's a natural athlete. As you all know, if you haven't seen her, look her up. She's a natural athlete, Maricea Allen, aka the Black Widow. And she's a natural athlete, and she's like, I need to get back into the like I need to compete, I need to do something, like I think this is what I'm gonna do. So she's like, one of her friends from Sioux Falls was like, come to, MMA with me. And in 2009, she went to an MMA class with her friend, and it all kind of just spiraled from there. So her friend, Nina Ansaroff, who is actually fighting tonight, so good luck, Nina, is now in the UFC. Her and her girlfriend, Amanda Nunes, who are good friends of Maricea's, are now both in the UFC, and Maricea is doing what she's doing right now with the Ultimate Fighter. So this has been a decade-long process for her. This has been a decade of struggles and failures and triumphs and lots of them. So I've had the opportunity to know her since 2013, and I've really seen her kind of progress through this. She's been through a lot of crappy times in the 5 years that I've known her, but I'm super proud of you wherever you're at. I know you'll watch this later, and it's truly a blessing to have her as my partner because she makes me so much better because of the things that she's done and I've seen her accomplish in her life. Not only makes me want to make myself better as a human, but it also makes me want to make this place better because it's just we make a really great team, and so this has been a long process for her. So it's really cool that you guys all get to be a part of this because you guys, you know, just kind of came into her life the last couple of years, and now you get to see her at her peak, which is really cool. So that's how she started.
Awesome.
I won't gush about her too much. I could gush about her, but I know too much. Okay, Jen, what do you got?
So, I know we've all kind of been waiting in anticipation / fear since the Inferno retreat.
Oh yeah.
Where, starting like, isn't it August 1st, we switch over to...
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so what's coming our way?
Yeah. So BBD is a program design that Maricea came up with, and it's just her workouts. So we're actually going to start BBD once Maricea gets back because when she left, this was kind of really sudden. We had no idea that this was going to happen, that she was going to leave, that how long she was going to be on. We had no idea. So we actually are going to have to like not do alloy, but like be very creative over the next couple weeks with workouts because we stopped alloy at the end of July, and Maricea was insistent when she left. She's like, don't start it without me. And I get it because it's kind of her baby. Like, you know, she's a process. You know, her and Jamie and her have been working very closely together on this project and getting, you know, workouts designed and an exercise library put together and all of these things. And Maricea, that's her baby. But you are in for some amazingly fantastic workouts. Her workouts are like none other. If you've never done a workout by Maricea, I mean, some of the Saturday workouts she's programmed for, but she's just, I don't know how her brain works. I really don't. But like, her workouts are so, it's like on paper they don't look so bad, and then when you do them, it's like, oh my god, that was terrible. Like, it was terrible. Like, I think one of the workouts I saw her program was like, it was like 100 pull-ups for time or something like that. But it was like, but that was it. But you know how terrible that is? Like, that's terrible. But the dynamic of BBD is, you know, derive, design, and dominate. So we kind of went along with the foundations, industrial strength, and afterburn because I really like that concept. I like the fact that we focus on quality over quantity. I like the fact that we focus on lifting heavy. Then I like the fact that we work on that HIIT training, that high intensity interval training, getting your heart rate up and just maxing out. So that is a concept that is a really great concept. But we needed to change up the workouts. We needed to get things a little bit more dynamic because, we needed to. It's going to be very dynamic. Let's just say that. It's hard to really explain how she does it because it's literally like she'll just sit down and like she's got phones and phones of like old programmed workouts that she did from like way back when that she'll bring back and like tweak and things like that. But then also Jamie has been programming some of the workouts as well. So Maricea and Jamie programming workouts. This could be a lot of fun. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be kind of transitioning over the next couple weeks until Maricea gets back, but it's going to be a good transition because we're going to change up some things and give the coaches some tasks on changing some things up too. And then when Maricea gets back, it's BBD full force, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is your schedule changing at all?
Not really.
Okay.
I think we're going to try to keep it as similar as possible. I don't like flipping things upside down because all of you guys are in a routine. You know, if you're in a routine and the routine works for you, then I don't think we're going to do a lot of changing. But again, it's not really my baby. It really isn't. It's really Maricea's, and I am letting her kind of take full force on that because it's something she's super passionate about. So stay tuned.
I'm butting in, but is it still going to be like the foundation, strength training, and afterburn?
Yeah, it's going to be a similar concept. So derive, design, dominate. So it's like foundations, industrial strength, afterburn is kind of how that is going to work. But it's going to be it's going to be a lot different. But we wanted to like keep the same concept because at the end of the day, it makes sense to like have that kind of similar concept, but make it our own essentially. Good question. Whose question was that?
Well,
That's okay. That's all right. Okay, cool. All right.
Jumped in.
That's all right. Jen, what do you got for me?
That was my question.
It's Mo's. That was your question.
I threw you off, I'm sorry.
It's alright. It's
That's
totally
my time
fine.
to think again.
Okay, all right. Let's go. What do you got for me?
Okay, so I know you've been on your own journey as well, and you do CrossFit.
Yes, a little bit.
Do you ever feel like you would incorporate that?
I feel like we kind of do, but here's the thing. I will be completely honest with you. I love CrossFit, but I can only do it for so long. It's super hard on my body. It's super hard on anybody. It is really hard on anybody's body. It really is, because it's very intense. It's lots of weight training. It's lots of different things, and you have to be really ready for that. So I do it sporadically here and there. I finished like a 6-week program, and now I'm kind of doing my own thing, kind of like more functional stuff, because my body can't handle all of the volume that comes with that. But I feel like Maricea will incorporate that into her workouts, because that's really kind of the basis behind her thought process, because that's kind of where her home was in the CrossFit space. So I think you will see pieces of it. I do, because CrossFit is amazing. I really do enjoy it. But I think for the majority of our demographic, it can almost be too much sometimes. So I think there will be a happy marriage of what we're doing now, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of Maricea's own thing. So questions? Yeah.
So do you see any more special clinics coming up? Like we had
Yes.
the Ebb and the barbell, that was fun. And
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Actually, Tiffany, I think, is going to do a TRX clinic, because she went to a group training TRX certification about a month ago, and she loved it. So she really wants to do a TRX clinic, which I think is great. I think that we talked about doing a body weight only clinic, because at the end of the day, like, just doing body weight exercises can be just as terrible as using dumbbells and everything else. So we've talked about doing that. We've talked about doing like an upper body only, lower body only. We could do a lot of different things with clinics, but I think the next one we're going to do is the TRX clinic, because Tiffany's really excited about doing that, because she's like, I went to this and I got all these cool things. They're all actually going. Sabrina just went to one. I think a few of them are going to the RIP trainer certification, which I think the RIP trainers will be incorporating those probably by the end of the year. And then, so it's just, we're trying to do different things, because I think it's important for you guys to get pieces of other things. I think like this ab clinic, I think was amazing for 4 weeks. Like, you don't think it's going to be that bad, but it was that bad. It was that bad. But you also learn different things that you can kind of incorporate into your own daily routines and into your classes. And now you can actually step things up in your classes, because you've learned other exercises in classes. I think that that's what makes these clinics great, is they kind of piggyback on what you guys are already doing. Like the barbell clinic is one of those things that just gives you like a piece of something that you might feel like you're missing, which is why I love the barbell clinic.
Makes you feel like badass.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, I mean, there is that too. So I think the clinics are just important to have, because it just gives you guys something else to do. You just need a little bit of something else. So yeah, good question.
How about a fighting club?
Yes, so actually, Maricea will probably she really wants to do another cardio kickboxing class, which I think will probably happen in the fall, all depending on the outcome of everything that happens with her, where she's at. If she's got the time to do it, we've talked about maybe her coach coming and doing it too. So cardio kickboxing is something we'll probably do this fall. So
that would be fun to try.
Yeah, yep. She did one last year at the old studio, and it was a hit. I mean, it talk about making a girl feel bad. It was like, it filled up like that. Like, any clinic I do it, I have to like bang. And it's like Maricea is like bam. But she's an amazing coach. She is amazing at what she does, so it really doesn't surprise me, And the thought of training with a world-class like MMA fighter is just a cool thing to be able to say that you got to do. So I think that that's really cool too. Good question. Jen, what do you got for me?
So we're just coming off of the week of Inferno.
Yes.
So I've only been here a year, but it seems like the bingo and then the poker challenge and now Inferno, it seems like every month you guys are coming up with crazy ways to challenge us. What started that idea to come up with the challenge, and like what are they all about for you?
Yeah, so I think for us, the challenges are just fun things for you guys to be involved in. I think that it's important for you guys to be able to just do different things. We're humans, we get bored after a while. And if you don't have a reason, sometimes when you lose reasons to come to the gym or you lose motivation, it just gets really hard to keep coming. So if we challenge you with something, a game or, you know, a month-long thing, it kind of adds that spice back into your workouts and into the studio. So that's one. Number two, it forces you guys out of your comfort zones. It really does. It truthfully forces you to do things that you never thought you would be able to do. And I think that, you know, this whole week has been riddled with so much, like, I just feel like controversy and all these challenges and it's not fair and, you know, it's like we're missing the point. The point of these is not that you win a shirt, which is cool because everybody wants to win a shirt, right? But at the end of the day, when you can say that you conquered something that you never thought you would ever in a million years, a year ago, ever think you would be able to do, those are the moments that you will remember in your workouts when you want to give up. You know what I'm saying? Like those moments last with you forever. Those feelings that you have, number one, when you fail, number two, when you conquer something, feelings don't leave. Moments in life don't leave. And they come back to you in the craziest times and in the craziest ways. And when you conquer things like box jumps and burpees and wall balls for 2 freaking minutes, or just going all out balls to the wall on a bike, those are moments that you don't forget. But when you finish them, and the next time you hop on that bike, you're like, when you're going, you're like, I know I could go faster than this. I went faster than this 2 weeks ago, you know? And then all of a sudden you pick it up, and all of a sudden you're doing more in your classes and you're giving more. I think Shauna today, after she did her burpees, she told Ashley that she actually worked out today for the first time in a year and a half because it was the first time she actually pushed herself to that red line, that limit of like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna die. And I will tell you right now that I've had moments, it took me a long time to learn how to get to that red line. There are times where I give up in my classes, or I give up in my workouts, or I don't give all that I could. But when I was training for the comp that I did in December, there was one workout I remember my coach actually, I would go to open gym, and my coach would never really ever be out there with me because he would be working with other people or whatever, which was fine. I didn't really need him there. But there was one workout that I did, and I had to do like banded like muscle ups and like all this stuff, and I think it was like thrusters. It was crazy. It was the craziest workout I've ever done in my life. And I would get on the pull-up bar, and I got on there, and I stopped one time, and he was like, keep going. And I started crying in the middle of my workout because I hurt so bad, and I wanted to quit so bad, and I couldn't breathe, and I felt like I couldn't move, and I thought I was gonna die. But he was like, keep going, keep going, keep going, because he knew he could push me. And it was like, those moments, I will never forget them. And I will always know that I can give more than I think I can because I've been pushed to that limit. And I think that that's why we do these challenges, because the coaches not only get the opportunity to push you guys to your limits, but you get the opportunity to push you to your limits. And, always like, oh, nobody can do that. That's a lie. Yes, you can. It's not a matter of can you do it, it's a matter of do you want to do it. Because if you don't want to do something, you won't. But until you realize that you can, that's when you will. So I think that that's why we do these. And I think it's important because you hit these light bulbs, you see these light bulbs go off with people, and it's like, it's this moment of amazing, amazing things start to happen when you get pushed. So that's why we do the challenges. And I think that that is the basis of what I want everybody to understand when we do these, that it's not about, no, you just don't want to buy t-shirts. I will buy hundreds of t-shirts, hundreds, okay, hundreds. If everybody does what they're supposed to do, because the next time we do this, you bet your ass you won't fail, right?
Yeah.
Right, because you won't allow yourself to. And now you have something to work on, right? Done. That's why we do that. Good question. All right, we're gonna go one more question from everybody, and then we're gonna wrap things up. So this is your final question, so make it a good one.
A little pressure.
I'm piggybacking off of
Okay.
Jen. So I initially started out with the free week trial. I didn't do the 6-week or 5-week challenge. I did this last time, and amazing results.
Murdered it.
Are we gonna do another one soon?
Yes, we're gonna do another, I wanna do another internal, like 30-day challenge. I don't wanna do, I think 6 weeks is great, but I like 30 days because it's short enough to like feel like you did, like to not feel like it's forever, but it's long enough to really see something. So I wanna do a 30-day challenge, and I want to do it incorporating the like nutrition program and like what we do with that and a few other things. I want to do it a little bit different because number one, I'm so sick of seeing 6-week challenges. Like, I'm so sick of seeing it on Facebook anymore. They're everywhere, and I don't want to be in that arena anymore. I really don't, because they just start to get a bad rap, because of different gyms doing it. Maybe their processes aren't good, or their customer service just isn't that great, and there's bad experiences, and then all of a sudden starts affecting the people that come in and see you, and it's like, I'm not even about that. So I think we're gonna do another one, but I want to make it like 30. I want to make it short and sweet, but I want to make it good, and I don't want to use the meal plan, which I thought was great, but I feel like it's not realistic forever. So yes. But my wheels are turning, and I want to make sure it's good and that it works. But I also want to make sure that it's something that can teach you what to do after. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you do like the 6-week challenge, the meal plan is like crazy. Like I'll be honest, I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. Nope. No.
I still use
So
those
I
meal plans.
applaud you all that have done it, because I wouldn't do it.
I like a good challenge.
And I always say I would never ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do, but I would not do that. I'm just keeping it real. I wouldn't. Like, Maricea, you're watching this, I would not do that. You know that. But, so I am in awe of people who do it. Like, I literally am in awe, because it's a tough one. But at the end of the day, it's not a forever. And I need to give you guys a forever. Like something that you could always fall back on, or like if you fall off, it doesn't feel like you're just getting back on the wagon, because now you're going back to this deprivation of like 1,200 calories a day, and all you get to eat is fish and chicken and broccoli. I hate broccoli. So, I mean, so yes, the answer to your question is yes, but I'm not sure when. I'm thinking fall. I'm thinking like October. Like, let's get through like getting back to school and getting everybody back on a schedule, and then we'll hit it like right before Thanksgiving, and then I think right before the holidays. Yep. If I could teach you how to eat pumpkin pie and eggnog and cranberry sauce and whatever mole ice, because you shake your head at everything I'm saying,
I don't like any of that.
without gaining weight over the holidays, that would be pretty cool. Great. I can do that. All right. What do you have for me, Michelle?
All right, so since I'm pretty new, I started in March. I have the Fit Rank program. So how did that all come about, and like kind of what's the schedule of that?
Okay, so Fit Ranks happens every quarter, and it was kind of something. Maricea, something you need to know about Maricea, and you maybe know this already, but she's like my researcher. She is my researcher, like the one that like finds all the cool stuff that we do here, because she's just like a detective sleuth, and she finds all these awesome things that happen here. So she found Fit Ranks, and we were like, man, this would be a really cool thing to like incorporate into what we do here, because it's like almost like karate belts. Like, I think Tiffany always explains it like karate belts. Like, as you go through your belt system, you get different color belts. Same thing happens here, but I think it's just a test of your conditioning and your strength and your progress through your classes, because as you progress through the Fit Ranks, you should be able to be getting better at every single thing. But the cool thing about it is, and I always look at like failure as an opportunity to get better, because if you fail something in a Fit Ranks test, now you know what you need to work on for the next one. So we do them every quarter, because I think every month was getting to be a little much. I like it every quarter because it gives you 3 months to like figure something out. Like, if you got to work on something, it gives you 3 months to work on that, so that you can retest the next month. So we do them every quarter, and I just think I tell people it's like how you see your money at work. Like, you get to actually see the fruits of your labor, and I think that that's really cool. Being able to see your name on the screen, and like knowing that you're being acknowledged, and like that you've got that kind of that title is really cool, I think. Yeah, good question. Did I answer your question?
Yep.
I hope I did. All right. Okay. Good. This is it. Last question.
Okay, so this is an advice question.
Oh, yeah. I love giving advice.
So I know personally one of the things that I struggle with is that I get a case of the efforts.
Me too.
Yeah. So then, how do you combat that or what's your suggestions when people do get that and they're just like wanting, whether it's, for me it's nutrition, but for other things, like what's your advice of like, how do you just shake off the efforts and like stick with it and stay consistent and stay like pretty determined with it?
So here's my thing is that, and I know Caitlin has talked a lot about this too, and this is something I'm kind of piggyback off of some of the advice, that Caitlin has given us in her videos and like just talking to her is that you really have to allow yourself the opportunity to have that feeling. Like, it's okay to feel like that. Do you know that some of the best athletes and some of the best trainers and some of the best humans in the world have that same feeling? Ed Milet, I listen to his podcast a lot, and he's amazing. And he was talking the other day to somebody on his podcast, and he was talking to them about going to Paige Hathaway. That's who we had in there. And they were talking about going to the gym, and he asked her the same question, like, do you ever just feel like not going? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. She's like, but I will force myself to drive to the gym. And he's like, so do I. And he's like, and sometimes I sit in the car for 20 minutes outside of the gym, talking myself in and out of working out. But then I know that if I just go in and I just get started, I will feel better. And I am the same exact way. I can't tell you, how many times I have talked myself in and out of workouts. I did it one day before I came and worked out after the 9:20 class one day. And I went to the chiro and I was tired and I was sore. And I'm just like, I haven't had a rest day. And I'm tired. And I'm all these excuses in my head. And I'm just like, I deserve a day off. I deserve a day off. I deserve a day off. But then I'll feel bad if I don't do it. And then when and I'm in my head and I'm back and forth and I'm back and forth and I'm back and forth. And I get here and the class was still going. They were stretching and I was like, listen, I have talked myself in and out of my workout today 50 times. And Tiffany's like, what are you doing? I'm like, trying to talk myself into working out. And then my caveat is drinking my pre-workout. Once I drink my pre-workout, I'm done. Like, I have to work out then, because I can't drink pre-workout and not work out. So it's I have to trick myself sometimes into doing it. But then there are other days where I'm like, I am tired. I'm tired and I just don't feel like going. And I have to be okay with that. But I have to also reason with myself and say, okay, if today you're not going, then you're going the rest of the week. Like, if I'm gonna make this decision today, then I need to make sure that I go every other day this week. I'm gonna make that promise to myself. I'm gonna make that commitment to myself. That if I'm gonna if I really deserve this day off, if I've been busting my ass and doing everything that I possibly can, and I deserve this day off, then I'll take it. But then every day after this, I'm gonna kill it in the gym and I'm gonna go back. And you just have to almost allow yourself to be okay with that. Because if you continue, it's just like food. If you stop eating all of the stuff that you like eating because you think that that's what you need to do for the rest of your life to lose weight, eventually you're gonna have the efforts. And you're gonna be like, screw it. And you're gonna eat Ben and Jerry's and you're gonna go to Cinnabon and you're gonna go everywhere else that you wanna go and eat whatever you wanna eat. And then all of a sudden after you're done, you're gonna feel like shit.
Yep.
Right? So it's like, don't deprive yourself of that feeling. Don't punish yourself for feeling that way, because everybody feels that way. Some of the best people in the world feel that exact same way. Maricea feels that way sometimes. And sometimes they'll be like, no, you're going to the gym. Like, no, you're going. There were times in her last fight camp, I'm tired. I know, but you signed up for this. So get your ass up, pack your bag, and go. Like, that's just how it is. And everybody feels that way, but you have to just be okay with that. But don't be okay with it forever, Because once you start giving yourself grace for that, it will start happening less and less. Because it won't feel like you're picking on yourself for feeling that way. And all of a sudden you won't feel like you're bullying yourself for feeling that way, and then you feel like that less and less. Does that make sense? So it's okay, because I feel that way too. Trust me. Some of the best people in the world feel that exact same way. But if you can just be like, okay, cool, I don't feel like working out today. But what did I do to not feel like working out? Did I actually do something today or this last week that really made me feel like this? Did I work my ass off all week long? Or have I only been to the gym once this week and today I just don't want to go? That's not an excuse then. No. But if you've been there 3 times already that week or 4 times already, and this is your 5th class, and you're just like, oh, I just don't want to do this today. Okay, you've pretty much worked your ass off, 4 or 5 times this week. It's okay. You have to figure out in your head if you really deserve that. Same thing with food. I'm a risk reward kind of a person when it comes to food. What are the risks of me eating this, and what are the rewards of me not eating this? Also, Shanti, you guys know Shanti, right? Yep. I love him. And he actually spoke at a conference that Maricea and I went to last year, Thrive. And he had a conversation on the stage, and he's like, I will literally have my clients have a conversation with their food. Like, if it's a piece of pizza, literally have a conversation with your food. If it's a piece of pizza, you say, hey pizza, what's up? So, I want to eat you, but how are you going to make me feel? And if the pizza says, I'm gonna make you feel really good because you've worked your ass off all week long, you deserve this, then eat the pizza. But if the pizza says, I'm gonna make you feel like crap, your bathroom experience is gonna be horrible for the next couple days and you're just gonna feel like shit, then don't eat it. You have to decide how whatever you're gonna put in your mouth is gonna make you feel. Because at some point in time, you've gotta get sick of feeling like crap, right? You've gotta get sick and tired of being sick and tired. So there's a lot of different tools, and working with the nutrition girls, and you'll know this because you're gonna start working with me, but working with the nutrition girls, I've been able to really help them like change their mindsets. Like Donna Lavin is working with me now, and she's eating like 1,700 calories a day, and she's like, oh my God, this feels like a lot of food. I'm like, I know, but you need to eat it. Like, you need to eat it. And it's this mind game that we played with ourselves of like, I've got to deprive myself, and I can only have 800 calories, and I'm like, oh my, I would be a dinosaur. Mad T-Rex dinosaur if I could only eat 800 calories a day. Legit. Like, I would kill somebody. There's no way. It's just not humanly possible. So, I think that was a lot of advice, but it's probably some of the best advice that I could possibly give. Yeah. Cool. Anything else? Any other, like, pressing questions? No? This was fun. So, I contemplated starting, like, a YouTube channel of, like advice and, like, daily talks, because I think I do them a lot. But I feel like I have a lot of life advice to give from, struggling with weight and struggling with an eating disorder, being divorced at a young age, going from married to a man to now engaged to a woman, like driving halfway 9 hours away from my whole entire life and coming here and literally starting over, like at 30 years old. I'm 30, I'm not that old. So it's like, I feel like I have a lot of life advice to give, so I'm always happy to give it, but I'm always also the person that, I always want to be the person that I wish I had when I was where you guys are all at. Because I didn't have that till I found Maricea. I didn't have that person. I didn't have that person to keep it real with me. And to be like, you know what, I love you, but you're kind of sucking right now. And yeah, it freaking hurts to hear, but it's like, I need that. Because you don't need things that are sugar-coated anymore, because there's things that have been sugar-coated for a lot of people's lives. A lot of things have been masked for things that they really aren't. And money, thousands of dollars have been wasted on shit that just doesn't work. And I'm not about to allow anybody that comes in here to do that again. Like, I won't. So that's like my mantra. Yeah. All right, anything else? I can talk for days. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Jen and Michelle and Mo, for hanging out with me after the ab clinic. Tune in next week for another episode of the Coffee with NP show, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever your favorite place is to listen to podcasts might be. And if you really liked this episode, please leave a review for us on iTunes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.